Hi, in this video, I'm going to talk about Soundy, an audio management system for Unity. Soundy is a standalone product that works either by itself, providing audio management tools and systems for your projects, or it can be used in conjunction with Doozy UI Manager, offering a few extra options when working with UI. Other than that, it is very useful to have such a system that helps you create and reference sounds and music, songs, and also gives you the tools to play them whenever you need them and wherever you need them in the 3D space. And of course, it is useful for any type of game, 2D, 3D, and for any UI if you want to have some swishes and some clicks and clacks when you click on things, and when you show and hide the pop-ups, views, and so on. And of course, for VR experiences, because it also has some specialized options for 3D, just like any Unity sound would have. And it is very useful because you can set up your sounds and music and settings and everything ahead of time. And then you simply, most of the things can be done with a single line of code, and you are done. All right, enough talk. Let me show you how this works. In this project, I have Soundy installed. I also have Doozy UI Manager and Bindi, I think. Let me check. So tools, Doozy dashboard. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, so I have Bindi. This is a data binding system, Soundy, and of course UI Manager and all the accompanying systems. But usually you will have only Soundy and probably Editor UI in Reactor if you have it as a standalone product. But I'm going to show you how to use it with the UI Manager as well. All right, I'm looking around to get my bearings and show you what. And let's start with the beginning. Let me get some headphones on because we will be playing with sound, and I do not want the sound to interfere with the microphone, right? So we can hear the sound directly from Unity. Let me check. Let's go to the music library and see. Yeah, I think we can go a bit higher with the sound volume. Perfect. All right, so now I can talk. So when you install Soundy, you have the option to select Soundy right here, and here you have sound libraries and music libraries. Basically, these are two databases, one for sounds and one for music. Why do you need that? Well, let's say you have your sound effects that usually are played a single time. Let's say a click or a gunfire or maybe an item pickup. And for music, you will want to have longer sound effects, either loops, and you also have the options to set loops here. So example loops, something like that. This is a preview. And you usually want to play this in a loop or create a specialized playlist with only these. I'm going to show you how that works. Or maybe you have music. These are just some quick example sounds. Or let's say box close, box open, bubble pop, and here we use different audio files, and that here I have 1, 2, 3 audio files. So 1, and they're played in a sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and of course the sequence also automatically resets. We're gonna get to that in a second. All right, so when you first get started, I recommend that you start with the examples. And let's go to Doozy, and here we have Soundy examples. All right, you will have this folder installed. And let's start with our sound example, how to play a sound from code, right? And let's maximize this. Let's actually enter play mode and preview this particular example. So let's go to maximize. So here I have a sound. Okay, so I say play, the sound will play, right? And this is the code that plays the sound. So play and stop, right? I can also pause the sound. So play and pause and unpause. There you go. I believe you heard it. And I can also mute it. So play, mute, and unmute. All right. And these are some of the options. So you can play a sound object. You can play if you're using sound objects. So you can use references. This is an object in an asset file. You can also play a sound via its library name and sound name. And here, let's exit the play mode because we don't need it anymore. So if I say library name, I mean, let's just see the interface here. So sound libraries, and here I have example sound effects. So this would be my library name, and sound name would be box close, for example, right? So this is the way to preview them, of course. And another way is by using a sound ID. And this is, again, you can use it as a reference that the sound ID contains a library name and a sound name. I'm going to show you in a second how that works. All right. So let's look at the code. So this is my sound example. And like I said, it uses these one-liners to work. So here I have a sound library and I can select which one. We'll be creating a new one and I'll show you how. And the sound that I want to play, I can preview it here. Let's say I want a shop open. All right, so now if I'm going to enter play mode, it's going to play that sound. Let's say start pickup. All right, so it's a bit different. All right, so this is how this particular thing works. Now let me show you the code for this sound example. All right, so here I have I'm using a sound ID. Because I'm using this sound ID, I have this interface here, and I can select a sound library. Of course, I can also open the libraries from here. And here I can also see the sound settings. All right. All right. Let me show you the code actually, so you can see how this works. Let me zoom in a bit. I think this should be enough. So what do I have here? Well, I have a sound ID, the sound that I want to play, that I'm selecting from this drop down here. All right. And oh, I didn't close everything. Then I have the button to play, to stop, pause, unpause, mute, and unmute my button. Of course, I also have a public library name and sound name, should I want to use that. Oh, I don't know why I'm closing this. So these are for testing purposes mostly. All right. So when I press play, it will stop any sound that is currently playing. You also have an explanation of what the line does, and it plays the sound. Of course, it will also play if you use this library name. So basically, these are the ones that you're interested in. All right. This is also useless. Again, stop if it's valid. The validation, make sure that you have a valid sound ID so that you have something selected. So let's say if this isn't set to none, of course, it won't be valid anymore. But if I have an example, sound effects, again, it's not valid because I do not have a sound selected. And the moment I say click on, okay, this will work. Let's go with a start pickup. This sounds nice. All right. Let's continue. So here, as you can see, every single interaction is a one-liner. You don't have to do the validation. I do it here just to make sure that if you mess with it, it will work and you won't have any issues. And of course, pause, unpause, and so on. Of course, this method on awake, it will get the reference buttons. In this case, the ones that you're seeing here and are referenced in this particular example. And it will, oh, come on. It will add a listener for these methods. So basically to trigger these methods on click. Yeah, it will also say, it will also set what we have here, button name and button label. So it will also do some editor stuff, and that's pretty much it. All the functionalities here: sound service, stop sound, sound service, pause sound. So basically, it's one-liner for everything. All right, so this was our music example. If you want to know how to create these custom editors, it's very easy. This particular editor is made with UI elements. And you can check out the sound example editor that is right here. So here we have a root, a component header, and I'm getting the serialized properties. In order to access them, I'm adding the root, I'm adding the component header. So in this case is this one. So it has a animated icon, secondary icon, and its name. And you can see here, set icon, set secondary item, component name, and then the color. But this is a different topic. But you can create custom things for yourself. And then here we compose everything. So we add the component header. We add our sound ID. So basically add the component header, add the sound ID. And then we're adding the references. So this is my button. This is these are these ones. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's really nothing to it. Just look through the code. It's self-explanatory. And as you can see, this custom editor, that's it. It uses, of course, editor UI to make everything look nice and work very fast. But other than that, it's very easy to use, so you can create your own custom things for Soundy or whatever you might want. All right, so how does the system work actually? Well, it has an abstract audio player. And let's go into runtime actually, so I can show you how it works. So it has an abstract class. This is an, can you see it? Yeah, you can. So this is, let me show you the code. And this abstract class is our audio player, the thing that plays the sound, all right? We use an abstract class. For example, if you want to use F mode or whatever different systems you might want, well, you extend this class. Now we're using the default player that comes with Unity. So we create an audio source player, right? So basically the audio source player is an audio player, extends the audio player, and we just set up all the settings for it. And of course the play, you over the wake, we over the play, stop, and so on. So all the basic things that you would do with an audio player. Now, if you want to add some, if you want to use a different type of player, you can just create it and do your stuff. And in order for the system to use this particular audio player, you go into the settings. And this is what I'm going to do now, just so I can explain to you how this works. So dashboard. And here we have our settings, Soundy settings. All right. So now, audio player that is used to play. So whenever you want to play a sound, this player is used, or a song for the music, right? And you just add its namespace, full qualified type name. In this case, I'm using doozy.runtime.soundy.audio source player. And this is used to play sounds. Now, when you enter play mode and you're using Soundy, a Soundy service will be created. Now, I can create one right away. So let's come here. So let's play. And there you go. The Soundy service is being created because you played your first sound. Now, you may want to have it already present in your Bootstrapper scene. This would be in your preloader. And let's say I'm going to create it, Doozy, Soundy. I'm going to create the sound service. So this is the brain of the system that handles the creation of audio players. And it also has a pooling system. You have a separate pooling system for sounds and a separate pooling system for music, right? They all use audio players. In this case, audio source player, right? So whenever a player is used, or it's in use, it won't get recycled. So actually, I should explain this first. All right, let's go like this. So you have sound players and music players. All right. Now, you may want to preload your sound players. So by default, 20 sound players are created. 20 audio players are created to play sounds. And sorry about that. And 3 audio players, in this case, audio source players, these ones, are created to play music. All right, so let's enter play mode and see that actually happen. Let me make this a bit smaller. All right, so I'm going to enter play mode, and you'll see right away that here we have 20 sound channels, all right? And here say we have 20 audio players in the pool. These are the preheat sound players, all right? And 3 for music. I recommend you leave 3 because you also have for music, for example, you have fade in, fade out. You can start a melody and fade it out and fade in another one, and it will overlap a bit. So you will be playing them one after the other. I'm going to show you in a little bit how that works. All right, so if I play a sound, you will see that it will be used. There you go, playing, and it went back in the pool. There you go. There you go. All right, so this is how this particular system works. This is the pooling system that is optimized to help you play a lot of sounds and have 0 lag and just work. All right, so what options do we have here? Well, preheat sound players, 20. Minimum number of sound players to keep alive. So minimum number of audio source player or audio players to keep alive that are used for playing sounds. For example, if you use a machine gun and for whatever reason, you need to use more than 20 sounds, more will be created. But after that, they will be destroyed. They will be destroyed if you have destroyed idle audio players. Again, this is enabled by default. And let's say I have 0 and 0 here. Now let's enter play mode. And what will happen? No sound channels will be created because we have 0. Now when I press play, 1 will be created, but automatically destroyed. All right. Now if I say minimum sound players to keep alive 1, all right. When I'll play, when it will start playing, it won't get destroyed. It will remain in the pool. All right. If I say 0, it will get destroyed. Why? Because I have an idle time. So idle time means when an audio player stopped playing for 1 second, after 1 second after it stopped playing, it's considered idle. All right. And if I have destroyed idle player, it will get destroyed if the minimum sound of players to keep alive is less than the number of players I have, right? I don't know if that was clear enough, but I will continue and you will understand eventually how this works. So whenever I do not want to use, let me just reset these values because they are system values. All right. So whenever I want to destroy an audio player automatically, just to clear up memory, it will have a check. So the Soundy service will check every second if it has idle players. Of course, you can say this check every 5 seconds or every 20 seconds if you want to optimize this. It's entirely up to you. And it will check whether any audio players used for playing sounds or used for playing music are idle, and if they should be removed from this. All right. Right now, for this particular example, you've noticed that whenever I enter play mode and I play a sound, let me show you. So the other sound is stopped. That's because in my coding, in the code for this example, I'm stopping the previous sound. All right. So let's say I want to not do that. So let's go into sound example. And whenever I press play, I am not gonna stop the sound ID, right? So I'm not gonna stop it. So in this case, you're gonna see overlap sounds. A lot of sounds will play at once. Let's come back here. Let's wait for this to compile, and you'll see a difference in how sounds are played. All right. It's really easy with this system, this management system, and I haven't even shown you all the settings, that the previous settings and all the crazy stuff that you can do. All right, so let's enter play mode. Right now, I just want to explain to you how this works, right? So let's come here, and now let's actually I can kill this. Let's press play, and again and again. And as you can see, they become idle. All right. Now, what else can I do? Well, let's say I do not want to instantiate, or I do not want to have a lot of, let's go to Doozy Tools dashboard. Let's just create 3 channels, right? So settings, preheat 3. And I want to have 3 again here, right? So let's enter play mode. And right away, I will have 3 channels. So if I press 1 to 3, they will be used and then they will stop. But if I press 4 times, so I needed 1 more. Now, as you can see, it was removed. All right. So this is how this works. And they're getting stopped, and only 3 will remain. If I change the value, let's say to 6 for whatever reason, let's go to 6, let's play. You will see that 6 will remain here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I change it again and I say, let's say 1, all right, they disappeared. There you go. There you go. And we will only have 1 available channel. But again, you may want to have more, because instantiating and destroying objects in this particular case is not efficient and it triggers your garbage collector. So yeah, just have 20 and just reuse them at start. And that's the best way to move with this. All right, let's go to tools. Let's just reset that. And let's continue our presentation with our sound player. All right, let's reset this. All right. So this is how you use the global settings. All right. And now let's go to our next example. And this is my sound player. All right. Now, a sound player is a way for you to play sounds without writing code. So basically, you can trigger a sound. You can attach it to any game object, and you will have some options. So let's just enter play mode so you can see how this works. Play. Stop. Okay. So a sound player, we'll have an ID. We'll have options: play on start, play on enable, play on disable, stop on disable, stop on destroy, and you can also follow a target, so you can If it's an object that moves in 3D space, you can attach, and while it's playing, it will follow that target and then stop. And here you have play, stop, set sound in various ways, and a reset. And let me show you how it looks. It's actually very easy. There you go. So this is a simple sound player. This is the sound you heard, right? And it doesn't do anything. You can play the sound once on start. If you're instantiating things, you may want to add it in your pulley system and play on enable. Or maybe you are destroying something and you want to play the sound on disable. So let's say you have a box that explodes. You want, when you are disabling that game object, to play a sound, all right? Or maybe you're spawning a gun. You're actually using another pulley system for the gun, for the bullet. Well, when it fires, you can play that particular sound and it will go through Soundy. And that's how this works. It's very easy. You can add a sound player. So add component, you go to Doozy, Soundy, and here you have your sound player that you can add, and you can select what you want to play. Select the library, and let's select the click on. There you go. Remove component. All right. So this is how the sound player works. Now you see that you have all of these settings and all of these methods. You may want to know what options you have for this particular component. So you can check out the documentation. Let me show you. Let's just create a new window. All right. And let's go to docs.doozui.com. I don't know where I'm now, but I do not want to go there. All right. So here I'm going to go to Soundy. And this is my sound player. And here I have a lot of the options that I have available for me. All right. And you can also check out the API. So let's go for the API. Scripting API, Doozy, runtime. Of course, I can also search for it. So Soundy player. Sound player. Yeah, there you go. So I can go like this. Let's just clear the search. And it's right here. And here I can see all the properties. All right. Play on disable, play on enable, with explanation of what they do. And all the methods that are available. Again, it explains how you can use them in code. If you need some specialized search, you can do it like that. And finally, let's look at, do I have any code here? No, so this is only the sound player. I can also show you the class. The entire code base of this audio management system is very clean, is commented, it follows proper coding protocol, namespaces and naming conventions and everything. So yeah, just like all of our products. So let's go here, sound player. So there you go. Can you see it? Yeah. So as you can see, everything that you see here, so ID, play on start, play on enable, will also be available here. Let's go to the properties. And here I have ID, so sound ID, library name plus sound name that the sound player is referencing. This is how it works. And this is how it looks in code. So everything is very clean, easy to understand and to expand or build upon, because the system is quite modular in various ways. Right? You can create your own sound player with different settings and just trigger whatever you need from the system. Even the play method is quite simple. You can get an audio player, and we also use method chaining for the code. All right, so this is the sound player. All right, let's go back to Unity and let's look at the music. And after that, we're gonna touch on the database part. I know this is a longer presentation, but this is after all a sound management system, and it has a lot of options for you. All right, so let's come here and let's say play. All right, so right now I'm using the music channel, and here it says whatever is playing. I can also look at the sound service, and here I can see I have 3 audio players in the pool. 1, 2, 3. These are the audio source player, so the one that have been extended from the abstract class audio player. So what I'm saying here, you can create your own customized player and use the system and add your own flavor to it if you want to do that, if you want to be very advanced. Otherwise, this will just work out of the box, no issues. So let's press play. As you can see, it started working right away. All right, we can also pause, and now it's paused. And as you can see here, we also make sure that you can see in the editor that is paused. And in the Soundy service, you also see that you have 1 audio player that is paused, 2 available, and 1 is actually is playing what is in the pause state. So let's unpause, and it's now playing. And after that, it will return it in the pool when it stops. There you go. And we can also say mute. Let's say mute, and let's play. Where is it? Mute? And it's now mute. Unmute. And we can also check it out here. I think it uses this particular functionality. There you go. It's still playing, and it will go back in the pool. All right. Again, this is a sound example. So if you want to see how it works, I'm going to maximize this so you can see the methods. These are just some examples of how this particular system works. You can also check it out and test the code. So let's go to content. Look here. This is our music example. Again, we are using, sorry, I opened it here. We're using the databases. And here I can see what man in town. Yeah, so I just changed that. Let's enter play mode, and now. Stop. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let me show you the code for this music example. Again, we have a music ID, same thing. And we have play button, stop, pause, unpause, mute, unmute. And that's pretty much the same code as the one from the sound example. And of course, the editor is again pretty much the same thing. You have some serialized properties, a header, a root that holds everything together. We get our serialized properties. We initialize the root and the component header, where we show an icon, a secondary icon, and the name, and also set a color. There you go. This is how it looks. Let's say I want a different color, editor colors, let's say default, let's say red, actually editor UI, red, because we have some colors set here. So I'm just going to save this and, oh, sorry. Let's go back to Unity when it shows up. And you will see that now this will become red. Come on. Stop compiling. There you go. Now it's red, right? And of course the ID and all the settings. All right, let's move forward. Of course, if you have a sound player, you also have a music player. Now, sounds are considered mostly things that happen once, so it's a one-time thing. Music, you will have every music object. It's considered a song. So you can fade in, fade out. You have some other settings for the music. That's why they're treated in a separate way, because they are separate things at the end of the day. So this is a music player. Now, unlike your sound player, let me add here a sound player so you can see it. Soundy sound player. So a sound player, we have whatever sound you want to play, and of course some triggers on start, on enable, on disable, on destroy, so whatever you want to do. But here in the music player, we have, first of all, you may want your music player to persist across scenes. Now, in this case, it should be on the root of the hierarchy, and you can say don't destroy on scene change, and it will persist across scenes. So basically, you can start your project, play some music, and even if you change the scenes in a destructive manner, in a single way, the music will still continue to play because it will be in don't destroy on load, I think. Yeah. Now, auto advanced, if you have more than one, just remove this. If you have more than one songs in your playlist, it will go to the next, Okay. You can set a crossfade between them. So basically it will fade out your current song and fade in your next song. So this will be a very nice transition, right? Then you have your play. So on enable start, play, resume, reset playlist. You can also do that. And because this is, because they're like a playlist, right? Then you can follow a target. For example, let's say you have an ice cream truck in your game, right? And you want to play in a loop that ice cream truck song, right? So you just follow target, and this would be your ice cream truck, and the music player would follow that in your 3D space if you need that, right? And then there's the way how the music is played. You can have a sequential order, so 1, 2, 3. So basically 0, 1, 2, 3, all right? Or you can have a random sound. So each time it wants to play another song, it will select a random one, or random no repeat. This is a bit more expensive because it keeps tracks of the songs that have been played so far. So this ensures that when going through a playlist, all the songs will be played once and only once. And when all have been played, it will reset and again start selecting a random song, right? And of course, you can loop the playlist. So if it reaches the end, it loops, or you can loop a particular song. So basically, you can set one song to loop over and over and over again, even if you have a looping playlist. Whew. Let me show you in action. So in this particular example, I have 4 sounds. And then, so what I've done, I've created a playlist with these in order to create a song, actually, right? So let's say sequential, and let's hear it in play mode. Let's enter play mode and say play next. And it will play one, then this one, and the next one. There you go. Now I can fade, I can stop. All right. And let's go here. Fade out and stop. And it fades out and then it stops. I can pause and unpause. Pause. Now it's paused. Unpause. And now I can mute. Now, if it's muted, it will continue playing, but it will be, so as you can see, it continues to play and gets a different one, but it's muted. So unmute. Now, it really depends on how you're structuring your project. Maybe you want to pause it because let's say you have a ambient music and an ambient song, and the user enters pause mode, or maybe, I don't know, you need to stop it, right? So you can pause and unpause it, it resumes playing. All right. Now, in the editor, what I didn't show you because I forgot, there are some options for playing that appear at runtime. So you can, if you do not have these buttons, these particular buttons here, you have some here. So there you go. Now I can say play. Next. 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 There you go. So you have some play options in play mode, so you can preview this. All right. Now, like I said, you can also have a different type of random and random no repeat. So let's come here. Let's select random, play. So now let's see what it's playing. So 6, 1. So it goes random, it just selects randomly from this list and just plays. If I say random number repeat, it will go through the list and it will select only the ones that it hasn't played yet. Let's go to sequential. So it will be 1, the next one. Then 2, you can see here. 6 and 5. All right. Okay, let me show you the fade in and fade out. I think I'm going to use this one. Let's get to songs. So let's add example music. I'm going to say Man About Town. And let's add one more. Let's get the other one. I can also preview them. And this one. Okay. So now I want to crossfade. So I'm going to say play them one after the other and crossfade. Now let's play. And it will automatically crossfade. Let me actually show you the sound, the volume. So it will fade in. There you go. In 0.5. And then it will fade out. Did I show you? Let me show you this one. So when it goes to the next one, it will fade out. There you go. So this is the crossfade. Of course, we can make the fade longer for this. Let's say 2 seconds, although this is a bit much. So let's play. And play next. Fade in. And then it will fade out. There you go. So that's how it works. Again, it will fade out. And now it will fade in. So this is how the crossfade works, and why you might want to use it for whatever reason. Maybe you do not want auto advanced, so if that's not used, sequential has no meaning. All right. So I've shown you how to play the sounds. I've shown you how to play the music with or without a component, but I haven't shown you the databases because this is where the magic happens, right? So let's go to sounds, and here we have loops, music, and sound effects, right? And let's just clear this. Let's create a simple scene. All right, let's go to the database, because this is one of the things that might attract you to get a audio management system. Now, let's create a new sound library. And now I'm going to say my sounds. All right. Select. I just select the folder. Sorry. Select folder. And I'm going to rename it to my sounds. All right. Now, as you can see, it doesn't have any sounds added. I have various ways of adding sounds. So let's say I want to add box close, box open. I want to add these, all right? So I can simply drag and drop them, and a sound will be created for each of them. And I can preview them, all right? There you go. Another way of doing this, and this is a bit more cumbersome, is add new. And then I can select this, and I will set its name. Let's say I want a pickup item. Let's put it right here. I'm gonna put the audio clip, and it will rename itself, and now it should work. There you go. Let's just close this. Now, every sound object. Actually, let me create a few of them so I can show you some options that you might like. Let's just remove this. I'm going to add all of these. Actually, just need the box, the click, and the pickup item. All right, let's put it like that. So I've just created my my sounds. Now, because I did that, I can also play them via a sound player. So let's create a game object. Let's add a sound player. And now I'm looking for the library my sounds, and I have all of these options. Let's say pickup item, so this one, and let's say on enable. All right, so let's enter play mode, and now when I enable this sound, this game object, this sound will get played. There you go. It's that easy. Let's say when I disable it, I'm gonna play this sound. Oh, it also has stoppage here. There you go. And of course, on destroy stop, you need that option. All right. What I have here, I have an option to see this pickup item, right? And a sound can have one or more audio clips forming it. And what I mean by that? Well, let's say that I have this bubble pop, and here I have 3 sounds. 1, 2, 3, right? And I want, whenever I play the sound bubble pop, to play one of these sounds, right? And I do not want to care how that works. And this is where the system helps you. And let me show you how it's done. It's very easy. And here I'm going to say create a new sound, and it's unnamed. I'm not going to select it. All right, let's close this. And I can add new and just say this, and another one, and another one. Or I can go with the easy route. So let's remove them. And let's say 1, 2, 3, drag and drop here. There you go. And I can preview them. 1, 2, 3. All right. So that's how it works. And of course, the sound name is Bubble Pop 01 because it got the name from the first one. I'm just gonna say Bubble Pop. All right. What other options do I have here? Well, I can set a general volume for this. So whenever I'm playing it, I can say play at 50%. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it is quieter. All right. Now, I can also set a priority. This is for Unity. If you have a lot of sounds, how important is this sound? Because if it has a limit on how many sounds it can play, and this is not important, well, it will simply not play it. So the lower the priority, the higher the sound importance. That's why you have here high and low, and you can set whatever priority you want. Let's reset it. Now you have pan stereo, and this means, do you want to hear it on the left, or actually this would be for your left, on the left or on the right? So if I play it now, it's stereo, right? Now if you have some headphones, you would hear that now it will be on your left, and now it will be on your right. So you can also play with that. Spatial blend. This is basically a 2D sound, and you can set it to be a 3D sound. So how much the sound is affected by 3D spatialization calculation, like Doppler and so on. And this is where you where do you want to use the sound? In your UI or your 2D game, or if it's a 3D sound, how do you want it to be heard? All right. Oh, sorry, I just misclicked here. All right. So reverb zone. Again, all of these have tooltips, and how is the sound affected in reverb zones, right? Does it have an echo or not? And 3D sounds, Doppler level, spread, minimum distance, and of course logarithmic roll-off, maximum distance when the sound goes lower in volume, right? How is it heard by the player, for example, if it's far away? So these are all the options that you have available. You can loop it. Now, here I have a sequential sound. So basically they will be played 1, 2, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If I have random, they will be in a random order. Now, if I have random no repeat, well, it will be they will play only once in each cycle, right? Now, if you have a sequential playing order, you can also reset the sequence. All right. So let's say after 2 seconds, I want to reset. So let's say 1, 2, 3. Of course, the next will be 1, 2, 3. But let's see if I play only 1 and I wait for 2 seconds. Now, when I'm going to play again, it will be still 1. All right. It won't be 2. Basically, it resets the sequence. It goes from the start. So this is how you create these types of sounds. And now for my game object, I'm going to play this pickup item. Let's also add so I can, actually, no, let's enter play mode and let's check it out. So it's play on enable, right? I want the other sound. So it's bubble pop, right? So let's say, not pickup item, bubble pop. I should have changed it earlier. So let's say bubble pop. There you go, play. There you go. And now it will play in a sequential, I think it was sequential, right? Sequential order, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And you can also hear it. Yeah, all right. Now, for the music, you have some similar options, but the music is one sound, one song. So it's a bit different. So I've shown you how to create your own things here. Let's go for the music in this case. So I'm going to create a music library. By the way, the library I've just created is, I think, under assets. There you go. This is my sound library, and these are my music, my sound objects. You can also reference them and use them as needed, as they are inside your project, right? All right. Let's create a music library now. So where are we? Music libraries. So let's create a new library. Again, I'm going to say my music. Actually, no. I'm just going to select the folder. This is where I want to create it. And I'm going to say my music. All right. And let's save. Of course, you can also set an audio mixer group if you want more advanced stuff. And you can, we're going to show in a different tutorial how you can do that. And you can play on different, if you have an audio mixer group set in your library, they will be played through that. So you can do that crazy stuff as well. And now let's go to our music. And let me just move this. So now I can just drag and drop this here, drag and drop this here. And now I have my music added. Of course, I can also add them both. So I can do something like that. If I have more than one, and it will all appear. This is just a simple way to create your libraries. Basically, it's a few drag and drops and you're done. You've created your database. It's that easy. Oh, I also forgot. You can also scrub through this. There you go. It also has these options, right? And let's see the settings for them. Again, you have volume, priority, band stereo, spatial blend, reverb zone, 3D settings, and you have loop and ignore listener pause. Since every music object is one song, you do not have the other options for sequential, loop, and so on, because they are used in a music player, and there you have playlists and crossfade and other good stuff. All right. One important thing that I haven't said about the system is that at this time, all the sounds that you've seen are not added to your build. This is intended that way so that you can have a lot of sound that you're previewing, but the moment you want to deploy your project, you need to add them to the build. And how do you do that? Well, you just click this button, Add to Build, and now they will be available in your build at runtime, right? On your device. If you do not do this, they will be only in the editor. So this way you can have sounds that you can test with and not increase the size of your project. Of course, sound libraries, same thing, Add to Build. And you can see right away which are added to the build and which are not added to the build. Whew. And that's pretty much it for this system. It has a lot of options for managing and setting up your database, because all that you're doing with this audio management system is setting different settings. Oh, I didn't show you some other neat stuff, let's say, for my sounds. Let's select this click. All right. So, for example, I have this sound, but it has 0 variations. Maybe I want to change the pitch a bit and have some different click sounds, right? So I can duplicate this and I can change the pitch. Let's say 0.95. Let's duplicate this again and say 0.9, right? And now I have different, let's go with random non-repeat. And actually I'm gonna change the, let's make this 1119. Maybe even a lot more. Let me just increase the volume so you can hear it better. Can you hear it now? So as you can see, you can increase this. Let's put this down here. There you go. And now you have different options. You can also, if you go with random, you can also use a weight and say, let's say I have, let's go with the, actually, let me show you this. Let me continue to show this. So 0.8, all right. And now I can say, all right. And let's say game object. Let's select click on, I think. Yeah. Yeah. And now when you will play, you will always hear a different sound with a different pitch. Oh, here. There you go. Now I'm gonna go a bit lower with the sound volume so that you don't go crazy with it. All right. So that's one way of doing it. Another way is using weights. So for example, I have the star pickup. All right, so I have this. All right, so I have this particular system. Let's add it to our sounds. So let's go Tools, Doozy, the dashboard. So I want to create a star pickup sound that has all of these audio things in my sounds. Let's just remove most of these. Yeah, let's just leave these on. So this is star pickup. Okay, I'm gonna create one more, and this would be my. Let's bring these. Let's drag and drop here these variations. So now I have. Let's also add an auto reset, and this will be my star pickup, right? All right, and if I go with random, now I can use weights. Let's say I always want to hear this most of the time. So I'm going to leave the weight 100. Now this I'm going to say 50, 50, and 50, right? And now, actually, let's go with a lower probability. So let's go like that, 30. and this will be 100 with a where is random, right? So 30, 30, 30, 100. Now, whenever I'm going to play this, most of the time I will have star pickup 4, so the highest note, right? So let's come here and let's pick star pickup. So let's go here. I don't know if you're hearing that. I hope you do. But most of the time it's the fourth one. There you go. So you also have this type of customization. So that's pretty much it for the system. What else can I show you? Well, I can show you some implementations with Doozy, right? So let's create Doozy. Let me just create a simple UI menu, containers. Give me a simple container, just so I can show you some hide and show, right? So let's kill this. So here I have a simple view, for example, right? And I can hide and show it. And let's say I want to add some sounds to this. Now, if you do not have Soundy, or if you're using Master Audio and you got the free integration for that, well, you'll have, so let's say audio. And here I'm going to say UI container. In the old interface, I use UI container audio and just reference my sound effects and say shop open for show, shop close for hide. All right. So this would be the way to do it. But I also need an audio source. Yeah, it's a bit more cumbersome to use, and you do not have all the settings available, but it will work. So this is the normal way of doing it without any add-ons. So let's say UI container, let's say hide, show. Did it play the sound? Did I connect it? Yeah, so it should work. So hide. So basically, I don't know if you're hearing the sounds. So hide, show, right? So this is the normal way. Now with Soundy, you have a similar component. Let's just remove this and let's remove the audio source and say UI container Soundy audio, right? So now you have the same thing, but you're using the entire system of all the settings and the libraries. Do we have here my sounds? Let's also add them. So let's say shop open and shop close, just so we can have them available here. Perfect. Oh, shop close. Yeah, that's what I want. So here I'm gonna say my sounds, shop open, and my sounds, shop close. And now you will see that we will use our system for playing these sounds. Did it appear? I think it needs to get connected. All right, so now it's connected. So show, hide, and show. And now it's playing these. Hide. There you go. Or maybe you may want to use a whoosh. Do I have a whoosh? Click on and click off, right? So there you go. Of course, this is also available for toggles and buttons. Let's use it for a toggle, all right? So let's add a toggle. Doozy UI menu components. Let's get a switch, a flex switch. Let's zoom on it. Now I want to add that click on, click off for the UI toggle. Again, it's very easy. And I'll say UI toggle Soundy audio. My sounds, when it's on, click on, and my sounds When it's off, click off. So this is the sound played when the toggle transitions to the on state and to the off state. Now, by default, I see that it is off, so it will be off. And now I can say, again, it needs to connect because I'm using domain reload. There you go. It sounds strange because click on has these options. I'm gonna remove them. All right, so now there you go, and that's how it works. All right, and you can also check it out here. So there you go. All right, so that's pretty much it for the system. You also have integrations for, let's say, you want to hear a click sound when you click a button. So let's also add a button. It's very easy. Doozy UI menu components. Let's say simple button. Simple icon button, something like that. So this is my button, and I want to hear a sound when I click it. Add component, UI selectable Soundy audio, and I want to say when it's pressed, I want to hear the click on button, and let's also add a whoosh when I move my mouse over it, so when it's highlighted. So do I have that sound? No, let's add it to our database. So whoosh short, yeah, let's add this. There you go. So now let's add it here, whoosh short, and that's it. All right, so now when my mouse comes over it, there you go. And you can also see the sounds here. There you go. Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty much it for this system. I hope you understood how it works. It is very, very powerful. Not to mention that the code is easy to use. It's simple. And yeah, that's it. So that's it for Soundy. We will add some more tutorials and show you some 3D usage, and we'll add some examples for it. Yeah, that's it for an audio management system for Unity. Thank you much, and see you in the next video.